Hi guys, welcome to today's video. We're doing part 5 of our alternate future of the Middle East series. And the first thing that happened is a few nations decide they weren't adequately protected during that Kurdish rebellion and Iranian war. This includes the Lur area, Luristan, let's call it that. Iraq leaves, and Syria claiming they've all been inadequately protected, and Turkey's like, well, okay, I guess I didn't protect you right. As Iran declares war on that country and they say, can we have help? And the nations are like, you don't need it. As Iran steamrolls in. Yep, you heard that right. Iran steamrolls in. Yep, Iran goes as fast as they can as they steamroll into this area. But fortunately for the Lurs, they are gave support, which allows them to push Iran back. Iran doesn't know where they got the weapons, because they left the alliance, so they assume they didn't get there, so they just go to peace negotiating, which they kind of their territory, find a third of their territory, they change their mind and ask Turkey and Azerbaijan if they can come back, and they say yes. I knew their location probably wasn't the best to do that. But in the Arabian Peninsula, Saudi Arabia is getting into it with Nejd. Why? Because, well, they're saying Nejd is a part of them. And they're also saying Hurgiv is saying, no, they're not. Your coast is part of us, and so on. Then these two nations say, well, whatever. Yep, that's what Bahrain and Qatar thinks. As quickly it escalates into a war situation, as Saudi Arabia declares war on Nejd, and then in return a declaration of war comes flying at them from Hejaz, who declares war on everyone. And then, well, these two nations get involved. Why? Because they can. But Hejaz doesn't do much at the beginning of the war, except a bit. With Nejd being pushed back. Nejd is stronger than Saudi Arabia. Actually, in fact. Shocking, but it's true. And while Qatar and Bahrain make a small offensive into Saudi Arabia, with them making a naval landing here and a full-on invasion over here. But Hejaz's first mission is they decide to go north, which Egypt is giving them lots of intel for what they're doing. And Jordan's wondering if to get involved, which they kinda don't. You think Saudi Arabia is going to win against Nejd, but it doesn't look that way. Even though they have a full offensive going on into their nation, they have one big problem. Another rebellion for independence in the south. Which I haven't come up with a name for yet, the name of the country. So right now, let's call it something. I'll have a name after the peace treaty. And these rebels, the Green Rebels, they're called the Green Rebellion. They're an independence rebellion. What would this area be called historically? Not sure. Yeah. And so, yeah, the green team is succeeding. Which, while the green team is succeeding in the south, this gives Nejd time to kick Saudi Arabia back. And yeah. With Nejd completely kicking them out as they are reorganizing their troops, well, yeah. Through Hejaz messing up, for some reason. Well, Nejd gains strength from somehow. They use a good strategy and they kick them out of that area. And then they push them down the peninsula. Until Hejaz is finally ready to admit defeat. Which they finally do. Now let's see what their treaty looks like. Unless I looked at an ethnic map, it didn't work that well. So let's call it the Arab Republic. Wait, what? That's not a good name. Give it a name. I can't think of it. Well, if you think there's a better name than the Arabian Order, come up with it. Because I think this will be called the Arabian Order. And Saudi Arabia is unable to stop this. And seeing this, the Arabian communes rise up. And yeah, what color will we use for them? Well, kind of don't have the best choice, so we'll use pink. And as the communists rise up, the Arabian Commune. Yep, this is getting very nameful. And Iran is still in a pact, but they're not showing up as part of it. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's fixed. That's fixed. Yep, we fixed the problem. Fine, I fixed the problem, but we fixed the problem. Same thing. Yep. How's it going watching this video? I hope you're enjoying it. With Qatar sending its peacekeeping forces a bit further down in. Fine, that's what they're calling it, a peacekeeping operation. With no side really being able to win the civil war, it's hard to say who getting land, and Qatar and Bahrain got land. They're still a part of this alliance. And then the Arab Peninsula defense grows as they get Nejd to join, which means a significant growth. And while the Saudi Arabian Commune is now in a stalemate. Well, about to be in a stalemate? Maybe not yet. Now they make it to their stalemate. With the Arabian Order quickly making into a stalemate. Nobody can move. And it's months and months and months. Eventually they come to peace. Right there, guys. And then this is Saudi Arabia. And this is the Arabian Order, which is not a good nation. And if you have names for these two nations, they will still need to have commune, and this one will need order. But if you have a good name, put it in the comments. So it's probably better than Arabian Commune. Probably. Considering now we have 3 nations with Arabia in their name. Yep. And then we have the Arab Defense Pact. We're using Arabia. Yep, we're using a lot. Too much, maybe, you could say, but maybe we're not. And then Israel is just neutral. But they're in a good spot. Friends, friends, friends. Not so friends. But yeah. And Iraq does one thing at the end of this video, which may or may have not been a good idea. They made Mesopotamia, which does not make most neutral nations happy at them. Far from. But some nations don't care. The Arabian Defense Pact just says, you shouldn't be doing that, but you're stronger than us. You're in a stronger position. And then the Qatar Bahrain Pact needs a name. I don't know what to call it. You want to give it a name, viewers? And yeah, maybe I'll make a vote on names. If enough name suggestions come, I might make a vote on names. With this being the treaty, they annex all of that, guys. And now look how strong they're getting. Well, long. I do request a tiny bit of land, but Turkey kind of says no. They ask Israel for a tiny bit, Turkey says no. They ask Jordan for a bit, Jordan says no. They ask Hejaz for a bit, no. And then they're out of options. They say, can we go under your country? No. And well, yeah. After getting a bunch of no's, they decide, yeah, maybe we should just give up. And guys, right now we're at 249 subscribers. That's 51 away from our goal. So we're almost halfway there, and tomorrow's halfway through the month. So keep up the work of subscribing and we'll get there for sure. And so if you could you please like, subscribe, comment on this video? You should really consider subscribing as it's helping our channel grow. And I'm promising a 500 subscribers special at 500 subscribers. So you should really consider subscribing. And yeah, and once there is, everybody will be happy. And so that's all for today's video. Wild Mapper out.